Guys, I'm working on a Saturday. What's wrong with me, Eric? What's gone wrong? What's happened?
Well, we're in high promotion mode right now, man. We've got a great system and we're excited and yeah, man. We're trying to get that work in before we gotta get our weekend going.
Yeah,
So
no,
I got up
yeah.
early. I
Right.
saw you up. I was early, and of course I saw you up. You already had two videos and working on a working on a page and everything else. And I woke up at 4 a.m. and you were already on top of all
Right.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
On that front, right? It's like I think I've done five things now today. I think I've done five promotional things today already. I was up at 6:30. I didn't start till about 7:30. No, probably at 8 o'clock to be fair. It's now 10 to 1, and I've done five things. And people are like, I did a video this week. Here's what do you think of this picture? Do you think I should put this out? It's like, do you think I went to Eric or anybody else and said, Eric, I've made this picture. What do you think? Do you think it will work? Do you think, me and Eric, we chat a lot, fair enough. But something I will say is I paid $5,000 a while ago to get some coaching from a multi-millionaire online marketer. And I did the same. I went, hey, so I've paid you all this money, you've got all this experience, you've made all this money. What do you think to this? And he would say, that looks great, that looks fantastic. So I'm like, oh great, I'm on the right lines. You think that will work? And he goes, oh, no clue if it'll work or not. What? Sorry. He goes, I fail more than I win. The difference is I get a lot of stuff out there, right? So I've done five things this morning before 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I just want to get it out there. But I'm using AI to help me create that, and so is Eric. But there's a big problem with that, isn't there? I've got
Well,
loads
it's
of stuff
funny.
done. Go ahead.
I was gonna say this before one of the first videos, that popped up on TikTok this morning. For me, it was a 19-year-old kid, and he just didn't want to go get a job. He's like, he goes, I worked, and he goes, I want to do my own thing. So he's like, I normally work 8 hours a day at a job, right? That's typical. So what he decided to do was he's a TikTok kid, so he sells on their products on their TikTok shop and all that. So what he did was he says, wake up, and I went live for 4 hours. I did the same thing. I went live. He goes, it was, people said, well, how can you do the same thing every day? He said, well, don't you do the same thing every day in a job? So he went live for 4 hours, and then he spent the rest of the 4 hours creating video content around the products he was selling. 8 hours a day like that. Boom, boom, boom. Month one, he made a few $100. Month two, he made 500-600 bucks. Month three, the guy was, he was making
10K.
2 or 3 grand.
10K on it, he said. I thought you said
No,
10K.
no, 10K. Yeah, I sent it to you. No, he was up to 10K,
Yeah,
right?
3 months.
So
Yeah.
point being is here's a young kid, 19, who gets it. Like he's understands, like, okay, but the difference is I'm doing the same thing every day at a job. And we always talk about consistency. I'm doing the same thing every day at a job. Um, but my job is going to pay me the same way all the time. When you build a business like we are, right? That there is no limit. You know what I mean? If I can go out and get 10 customers, great, and make my, $1,000 a month residual. Paul says, well, that's great, Eric, but I'm going to go out and get 1,000 customers. So now Paul's making six figures a month, right? So it just depends on what kind of effort you can put in. But that's not going to happen at a job. You're not going to go in and just work harder today or smarter today. And then all of a sudden you look at your paycheck and they're like, hey, Paul, you brought in, all the customers really like you. I think they're coming back because of that. So that's great. And they're buying more. Okay, well, I'm not leveraged in them buying like that. The profits go to the company. You're paying me hourly. So you're not going to I'm not going to look at my paycheck next week and it's going to be $300 more because I was a great employee this week. So I think that's what people miss. They come on, and yes, we're not telling you to go work 8 hours, but we're telling you if you've got an hour, 2 hours a day, like you got to be dialed in and focused and be consistent. You got to be doing it every single day. You can't just not show up. So anyway,
Well, yeah,
I just
but do
thought
you
I'd
know
throw that
what?
out there.
You're absolutely right. But in reality, who's actually going to do that? I put a joke thing up today, and it was like, "Hey,
Mhm.
I've just recently left work to focus on my online business, but I've got to go back tomorrow at 9." Right, and that's the reality for a lot of people that they got their job, right? And the thing that Eric said makes so much sense. What we're seeing, so we react, right? What we're seeing is we're getting a lot of people in that want that lifestyle, They want to be using AI to create lots of content and put stuff out, but they're stuck with the AI. And we got to the point where it's like, you know what? Even the people that are doing it, they're not getting enough leads in and stuff like that. So we kind of got this solution, and it came to us from a couple of sources. And was it Tommy's getting 20% open rate now? 20% of people raising their hand to say yes,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
leads. So why don't we do this? Why don't we kind of show the page, and we have shown it before, but let's just talk about, because we've added a new element to it as well for those that want it. It's probably not for everybody. So why don't we kind of talk about, rather than mess around with all this AI, right? If you're struggling, we think you should do it, right, and be consistent, and eventually something's got to give. It's just the law of averages. Eventually, right, you'll start getting returns for it. But if you need to make money now, or you could handle, I put a great post out, this morning, I think, and it was like, are you currently making recurring income? Could you handle some more? Right? Well, this way, and even if you don't want to use it for what we're doing, which builds into a nice recurring income, you can use these for yourself. Why don't you just bypass all that AI stuff, trying to learn it, right? And why don't you just get leads turning up into your inbox every day? So, what screen? This screen. My computer keeps changing which screen's number one and which one's number two. So we have this page here that we've built. And we've really, me and Eric, we just like get dumbfounded when people don't kind of see it, because we think we've made it as simple as it can be now. Um, so number one, you need an opportunity. We've got a complete turnkey system. It's paid over. It's just actually on Thursday, it hit $7 million in commissions paid out. It's been going 10 years. It grew 18% in 2 weeks, right? Because of the turnkey system. And then they've added this auto inviter that yesterday got me 3 conversations. The day before it got me 4 conversations. And today I think it's already sent out like 3 messages to people. They're in the States, so they're not probably going to be waking up till now or later. So first of all, no AI. You got an auto inviter. It just invites people. That's so why not, right? This here as well, what we really want to talk about, I guess, everyone's short on time and money. I get that. Okay, if you're short on time, look at this. You can get 30 leads absolutely for free. 3 leads a day for 10 days. No time involved from you other than sending a text message is what they recommend. You can email them, but they recommend a text message. If you're short on money, they're free. They're free, right? 30 leads for free. And then, you can go 5, 10, 15 leads a day. You do have to pay for them, but with 3 referrals, right? You cover your own cost. Plus, you can make a profit. Now, have you noticed that what we do is everybody gets a copy of this page? They're going to be uploaded this week. So everybody will be able to use this page, and we just keep getting better and better and better. And I didn't put it straight in because I knew what would happen. Somebody would say, can you add this? Somebody would say, can you add that, right? But now we can give you a $35, to me, $35 isn't the end of the world. Most people can afford $35, right? You will automatically invite people to check itself out. Then you can get free leads. Then you can get paid leads, but it's $75 for 150 leads a month in a 30-day month. And everybody's coming to the same page. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think you're going to make referrals? Just just think. Everyone's seeing the same system, right? And then we even have another trial. You can take a 14-day free trial of this, and they give you $100 credit just for taking a 14-day trial. And that's what I'm using to send SMS messages to people abroad. So just think about this, Eric. So am I right? You pay $35, right? You can use the inviter straight away. You get 10 days worth of leads for free. You get 14 days of that for free. They give you 14 days of their premium product with tons of live mentoring and live coaching for 14 days for free. We give you a social media pack we put together so you can go and promote on social media. That's free. And one of them's got 100 things in. So you can do 3 a day for, a month, or you can just do 1 a day, whatever. And we give you a copy of the page. What more can we do for people?
Well, I think we're talking about AI, and we're talking about how AI is crippling your sales.
Yeah.
Um, here's the thing, though, that I want you guys to understand, right? There's nothing wrong with what you're doing with AI right now. There's nothing wrong if you've got a couple of hours a day to dig in, start learn AI, use AI to start building content, use AI to do research, you would use AI. to help write your copy, do your promotions through social media. Nothing wrong. So if you have 2 hours a day to invest in a business, and I brought up the earlier example with the kid. I don't know how many of you guys have 8 hours a day. This is a kid that lived at home, probably, you guys have, we have jobs, we have families, you have a lot going on. So you may only have an hour to invest in a day. Nothing wrong. And we'll teach you AI. We'll teach you all this fun stuff. And you can set up all these cool tools and you can learn and do faceless videos and all this. But there's only one little tweak that you need to do, right? To start generating some momentum and success, right? We're not telling you to stop AI. What we're telling you is, why wouldn't you put yourself in a position, right? While you're making your faceless videos, while you're learning how ChatGPT or Nano Banana and all these cool tools work and how you can leverage them for your marketing, and you educate yourself and you build content over here, right? Over here on autopilot, you have something working that's bringing you leads, that's bringing you people saying, hey, tell me about your business. Hey, tell me about your business. Tell me about your business. Right. So then you can react. Oh, I have another lead in. Oh, I have someone that's interested. Da 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 da. Let me go get them the information that I need. So you get the best of both worlds. But what we see a lot of people out there is they don't have a lead plan in place. Because here's the problem, guys, with flavor of the month deals. This is where people lose. This is where people that are new, that they lose, because a flavor of the month deal will come. You'll get excited because you'll think, oh, if I plug in now, it's early and it's this and it's that, and I'm going to get positioned, and then all these wonderful things are going to happen to me. Well, what's really happening when that's going on is is marketers who have lists, who have influence, right? They already have a book of buyers. They already have people that trust them, that are looking for deals. So they can get at eyeballs in front of that new flavor of the month. So all of a sudden they're building up a story quickly. They're making, oh, we made this money and this money. Now, once all the dust settles and once all the excitement is gone and all the party is over, and then it's just like, okay, now we just got to get to business and build this business day in and day out, right? You start now having to carry the lunchbox to work every day. It's not like when they bring you into the job the first time and everyone says hi and they take you to lunch and the CEO sits you down and everything's great. Well, after that's over, we got to get to work, right? And that's where people lose. That's why they fell from one thing after the other, because they don't haven't built a list yet. They haven't built any influence. They don't have a lead strategy in place. So what we're trying to tell you guys is, here's a 10-year-old company paid out over 7 million. It's legit. It's a $35 entry. We'll teach you all the cool AI stuff, but we'll also put you in a position where now you can get leads every single day, right? So you have a real chance of making sales, because I can promise you, joining a cool deal because you think you're going to get positioned early and all these things are going to happen and all this stuff is an illusion. That will end, and you will be sitting in front of your computer and you will be thinking to yourself, how do I get people in front of this business today? What do I do today? Well, I don't want to be on camera. Well, I'm going to do an AI video. Great. I'm going to do a faceless video. That's awesome. Well, I did like 20 faceless videos over the last 2 weeks and I haven't made a sale yet. What's going on? Well, guess what? Maybe you're not doing them as good. Maybe you don't have an audience or influence yet, so not many people are seeing them because you haven't done it. You haven't. There's a whole bunch of host of reasons why. Okay, so then you think you're in that position, right, Paul? And you're just thinking like, well, let me try this then, or let me try that. Well, this thing must not be working, and that thing must not be working. Let me. So it's this vicious cycle. When what you need to do is, okay, I got a deal. I'm focused. Everything's in place for me. Now, let me go learn the AI. But now, boom. Okay, guys, I've got the inviter running every day. People are messaging me back. Okay, guys, I'm doing 5 leads a day that are coming in. I'm starting to text these people. They're responding. So now I have a real business growing, right? And a real opportunity to win. So sorry to go on the soapbox, Paul, but this is where people sometimes takes years for them to wake up and to
Well,
snap out of like that whole thing.
here's one of the biggest differences. If I'm on social media, why am I on social media? Me and Eric market on social media, but nobody really is going on social media to buy anything. And it's called interruption marketing. So you need to have something cool that stands out. We were taught shock and awe marketing. You know, you jump on a trend or whatever. So as people are scrolling for all this stuff, they see it and you stand out. But now, thanks to AI, they call it AI slush, right? You know, anybody in their back room can create this jaw-dropping, right, cinematic, fantastic AI produced video. So now, you know, me and Eric used to be clever and do something that would stand out, but now anybody can do it. So it's become normalized. So it's one, it's harder to stand out. Two, the buyer intent isn't necessarily there. Compare that with there's an ad here, work from anywhere, start now, and it gives a little bit of details. Somebody who's filled that in, they've raised their hand to say I'm interested in starting an online business. Now, of course, you don't sell to every. Some people will ghost you, right? They'll fill it in, and you'll respond, and they'll go, "Oh, someone's responded. I'm not sure," right? But Tommy's getting like we put it down here at 20% response rate from people that have filled in that ad or similar ad. They have hundreds of ads. They're doing all the hard work. They've worked out how to get eyeballs on that, and then people fill that in, and then right they sell the leads to only two people, and you get it within an hour of them filling the form in. So you know they're not going to get mega competition like from the people they sell the leads to, and you know it's fresh, and they're all USA based, and they are definitely real people. So that's the difference, Eric. I think you know rather than it's hard to do amazing now because it's
But
just normal.
you know what's scary, Paul,
Yeah.
is back in the old days, a guy could go out and he could rent a car, he could rent a fancy house and do a marketing video, right? And make it look like, oh, look, it was all bullshit most of the time. I'm not saying all the time, but 99% of the time it was just all BS, right? But now with AI, anybody can go out and make themselves look like, you know, a multi-millionaire from AI. You know what I mean? Like it's insane. Like so yeah, I call it like it's the illusion, right? It's a matrix kind of with our world. You know, it's like you need to be unplugged from it. You need to and understand it and look at reality. You know, we have an opportunity here to do two simple things that could completely transform you. If you did these two things if you just plug these two things in with this system and you just did it over the next 12 months, I promise you, you will win. Number one, just 5 leads a day, right? And we show you how to do that. With 5 new leads coming in a day that you can contact, right? Number two, just connect with 5 new people a day on social media. I know that sounds so like, oh, that sounds so simple, blah, 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 blah. Well, look, this person has 800 cool AI videos where they're flying through the trees and doing all sorts of crazy stuff, right? I promise you, 5 leads a day that you're following up with, right? And you're talking to 5 new people a day and just connecting with them doesn't mean you're pitching them. Something that simple can completely transform your business. And imagine if you just did that 365 days in a row. You talked to 5 people that said, "Hey, I'm interested in information on making money from home," which we show you how to get those leads, and then you just connect it with 5 people that that you're connecting with through social media, and now they're starting to watch your content. So as you're putting stuff out there, they're starting to see what you're doing. If you just did that simple thing for 365 days,
Right.
I mean, Paul and I already know because we've done this. We've done very similar things, and while everybody's talking about all these cool things they're doing and all these new strategies and all this sort of stuff, Paul and I've just been in the background going, okay, well, let's just do these, let's just make sure we're doing these simple things every day. And that's what makes us above average, right?
I've got something to
Because
show you. I
people
haven't
aren't
shown
doing
Eric this yet. Right, so I'm going to show you now because it's very relevant to what you were just saying. So also, let me just point this out. You saw me go on YouTube a few minutes ago, and the reason for that is, if you go on YouTube and you search "make money with AI," um, this girl here, I mean, she makes great content, but she's putting out so much. She must be making like $1 million a month because if everything she says works, right? She's making a fortune. And I don't believe she is because it's a different thing every video, pretty much, right? Um, He's ranked the best tools. He's not saying he's made that money. This person is saying these are the easiest businesses to start. He's not saying he's made money, right? How to make money with AI, 19 ideas, not like proven business models. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right? How to make your first 6,000 in 2026 with AI, make money online, right? This is how you do it. Beginners can do it. So I've watched that one. He's not actually saying he's made that, right? Now, a lot of them here are ideas, guys, right? This guy here, I think, this one, he's got 500 a day. There was another video here, it's 1,000 a day, you know? So it's like, and they're different. So what's going on? They don't work. Trust me. I've probably Eric's the same. I've watched more hours of these than I care to say and tried some of them. It's like people will say Pinterest. Yeah, we've made a lot of money off Facebook. Me and Eric do get views on our social media. You probably don't. So you'll probably say it's a scam, yet it's the same thing, right? They probably have some of them made decent money with it, but they might have been doing it for years to get there. They might have just hit a loophole. They might,
Well,
whatever.
scroll back up to the one guy that $500 a day
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
How many subscribers does he have?
He has 2.43 million subscribers.
Yeah. So where is he making money? He's not making money from the actual AI tool and these all these ideas he's sharing. He's making money through ad revenue through YouTube. YouTube's saying, "Hey, you're
Through the
getting a lot
money.
of
Is
people looking at
exactly
your content and we're going to compensate you for that." So he's monetizing information, right? That's all he's doing. And a lot of people are doing that online. So, you know, it's there's so I'm not saying that that business model or anything wrong with that. Like that's hey, if you can go out and create content and build subscribers and get a lot of views on it, fantastic. But what I'm saying is people get confused in the marketplace, right? And they think that what they're watching is really happening. Now, it may be happening for somebody, but most of the time these marketers aren't doing it, right? As Paul just explained. They're just sharing. They're just putting content out there. And so
Well,
it's
I'll tell you the saddest thing. The sad thing is the algorithm, unfortunately, now how they decide to rank your video, it used to be keywords, right? So if I wanted to rank for Home Business Academy, I would make sure I say Home Business Academy in the title and in the video and make it all relevant. And there's something called latent semantic indexing, which means that if you're doing a video about bicycles, Google expects you to use words like pedal and handlebar and those sort of words, and cycling, right? Now the algorithms are rewarding view count, how long people stay, right, and shares and things like that. So it's actually encouraging us to use clickbait to do things that I could do a video now how I made 1 million last month, right? And then I could do it and say it was in my dreams, but people would click it, right? And then you can be clever about how long you keep people in there, to watch the video. And say if you hang around for 2 minutes, I'll explain this, right? Let's just see if it says right. That's Home Business Academy. Is it going to tell me 2.1 estimated? Right, estimated monthly revenue $36,000 to $72,000 a month. That's what the expectation is that he is making from his channel. Do you think he really is making like he says $1,000 a day from an AI side hustle? You see, Eric's cogs are turning.
it's people just don't it's just a lack of understanding. And you buying into things and you're thinking, oh, this person's using this tool and it's making all this money, and I'm going to use the same tool to go make money in my business. And it just none of it matches up. None of it's real, right? So in other words, if I came on and I said, hey, I'm about to do a video, okay, that and I'm going to show you how I use ChatGPT to make an extra $500 a day, right? But um, I'm not actually. Could you imagine me saying I'm not actually doing what I'm going to show you with ChatGPT right now to make the $500 a day? I read an article about a guy who's actually doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what he's doing, but I know enough to do a video about it. So he's making 500, but I'm going to show you how to do that. But The reality is, because I've put a great thumbnail pic, I've put a great headline to make you click, and now I'm going to walk you through this so you have the illusion that you're all of a sudden going to do this same thing to make $500 a day. That by doing that, and by thousands of people doing that, and tens of thousands, YouTube is actually going to pay me for producing this video, right? Because they're going to run an ad before the video starts. They're going to do things. So they're going to pay me to do that. So this is all just a strategy. So while these thousands of people who watch this video, and many of them will try whatever the damn strategy is that they just taught, right? None of it would be far fetched that any of them, you know, figure it out or make money with it. I don't know if I'm kind of going off on a tangent, Paul, but like that's the reality. So if you go to YouTube, and I love YouTube, but I read through the line. I read through. I read through all the BS. But Paul and I've been doing this for a long time. We're just trying to pull the little value snippets out of there. But most of the time, it's just like influencers, guys, online. Oh, I like this politician this week because this party's going to pay me the most money to say I like this
Yeah.
guy. Oh, I like this product. It's my favorite product in the world. I wouldn't be caught dead without this product. Oh, did you just sign a contract with that major makeup brand that gave you, $1 million to say their product was great? So it's the same thing, So that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing a lot with influencers and that sort of thing online. They're being compensated, right? That sort of thing. So to get to the real, you got to get in the trenches with people that are actually doing it. That should be your real goal. Like, how can I connect with people that are doing this day by day? And most of the time, those people are not going to tell you all the sexy and fun things you want to hear. They're going to give you the real side. And for a lot of us, we don't want to hear the real side. We want to hear the where's the easy button. And we have an easy button. Like, we've created an easy button, with what we have here. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, no, I was just going to say, guys, if you haven't got vidIQ, this is an AI that I use every time I do a video, guys. It is freaking awesome. So I wanted to show it anyway because I said, what we're going to do for our people is I'm doing research for them, like on the top performing home business academy videos on YouTube. And this was the strategy that was shared on a Monday night What's Working Now call. So a guy's been making a bunch of sales, came on to let us know how he's making the sales, and it was YouTube. And he said, I'll let you in secret. All I do is I go and look at the top performing videos, and then I get AI to rewrite a version of it for me that I can do. So I just put here, look, go and find me the top performing videos, which it's done, and then it's giving me my key takeaways and all that. But then, like, because I'm just making this video, like this you guys don't appreciate sometimes, right? I hadn't planned to do this today, but is this not a fantastic idea, right? And this comes from just moving forward every day, even if you don't know what you're doing and chatting. So we looked at that. I just looked to show you that they're not necessarily making that money. They're just talking about making that money, right? And then I can now say, okay, well, vidIQ's looked and it's come back and it's said to me, look, this is what it means for you. The interesting thing about that video for your channel, it's telling me what he's using. It's saying you won't be competing. No, what's it saying? It ties directly with my audience, right? And it's saying you can take what he's doing basically and apply it to what you're doing. So I've asked it, yeah, give me 10 video ideas, and it's given me them. Look, Dan's winning patterns, your 10 videos, the laziest way to make money online in 2026, Home Business Academy plus AI. Brilliant. Fantastic. Now I can go to AI and say, write me a script for that and this, right? Oh, guys, come on. Well, it's handed to you on a freaking plate, right? But I'm going to do that for our customers, right? So if you get started with us for 35 freaking dollars, right, you can have the research as I do it, right? Anything else you want to say on that? And I guess we're just showing the pages, and I'm going to shoot off and get some lunch, I think. What
No,
did
I
we
just
say?
think what we built is the best of both worlds for people. So anybody can join us in business for $35 worldwide. That's a price point that most people around the world can afford, right? Number two, we're going to show y'all the cool because we're AI geeks. We're with marketing. We love all this stuff. We use all this stuff every single day, right? And we're always looking what's new, what's happening, what's all that stuff. So you're going to get all the cool AI stuff, but we're also going to tell you and be real with you and say, hey, you also need leads in daily. Do you want to be successful? You need leads in daily. because you don't have a list, because you don't have an influence, because you're just getting started, we're going to give you the path to leads daily. We're going to give you 30 free leads that can turn into 5, 10, or 15 a day. We're also going to give you a free tool inside of our system that's going to be working in the background, helping to promote and invite people to look at the opportunity. So we're going to put you in momentum. When I say momentum, I mean daily leads, daily people interested in looking. Because let's face it, everything we do, all this cool stuff and it's all designed to do one simple thing: get someone that's interested in your target audience to click on your link, to fill in their information, and to buy. So you can dress it up however you want to dress it up. You can say have the coolest headlines, the coolest thumbnail, the coolest videos, all that. But it all comes down to the person clicking on the site, looking at the information, filling in their details, and entering your business, right? That's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. So if you don't have people raising their hands every single day to click and take a look, right? You're not, none of the other stuff matters, right?
So,
You're going to get good with all the other stuff. So,
right.
yeah, I think we got everything, Paul. Go
So I
ahead.
want to focus your mind, Eric. Right. We want to bring 100 people into this, right? And so let me show you the system, and then I'll show you that I said I'm gonna. Eric hadn't seen it yet. I'm going to share something with it. He hasn't seen it, and I think everyone's going to be impressed. Right, so we have 2 pages at the minute, and then somebody said, "Hey, do you have a lead capture for it?" Now, HBA, okay, and we also have another thing, Exodus. Both of those are like turnkey. They have follow-ups and everything built in. But if you want to build your own list on the front end, somebody said, "Do you have an opt-in page?" So I've made one, right? So me and Eric may use it, we may not, but we've made one. I think that looks pretty sweet, even though I say so myself. Why? Because it is a template inside Home Business Academy, and I just changed the background image. So I just cheated. And AI made the image. I went into ChatGPT and I said, "Can you give me a bunch of people, different ages, different ethnicities, make them hold a $35 side hustle logo, please, and it needs to be big enough for the screen." Okay, bang, made one adjustment, and there we go. So now we do have this, and I've tied this up to get response. So I'm going to put my email in. So that page, it's not really confusing, but if I'm a newbie, if I just started and it says it's simple, right? It says it's simple, but I've got to read that. So there's that bit, there's that bit, there's that bit, there's that, right? So what we did is we did a 20-minute kind of overview, as it were, just to talk through what each bit is and why it's important. And it's me and Eric, and it is only 20 minutes, right? Right. So if somebody watches this, they'll know whether they want to do it or not, basically. And then when they come to the page, now the page makes sense. Oh, okay, so this is the bit that makes me the money. This will potentially get me leads. This will definitely get me leads, right? And this is how I can message them, but also I can get another 100 leads. I can message them without this. They're all American. If you're in America, you don't need this to send the SMS messages. But if you want to keep your number private, you can using this. But anyway, just for taking the free trial, they give you $100 in credit to buy more leads. So why would you not want to? And then I can also learn more. I get it. I don't need to do all this straight away, but I can if I want. And a social media pack, brilliant, right? So that's why we did that. Now, so imagine this: you're on the 5 leads a day package, 7 5s, 35, right? So 35 leads every week coming in if you go for that, right? But there's a cost. So what I did is I went to ChatGPT. Sorry, I went to Perplexity. I prefer Perplexity. And I said, okay, if somebody stays at the 35 level only, they buy leads, but because they're only at the $35 level, pays $28 a month commission, they're not probably going to invest in Network Essential, and they can use their phone anyway and just send the text messages. What would happen if between creating social media content and we give you a bundle, you can copy and paste? What about the leads coming in regardless, from the 5 leads a day? What about from the auto inviter? What about if you message people? What about if you do anything else? If you really went for it, could you just do one a week, right? With all those, because you're getting the leads now. I mean, you can get 10 leads, you can get 15 leads. Okay. What would that actually mean? Well, if you got the first week, you got one customer, you'd actually be making a loss. You'd be down, you'd be out of pocket. So this is you buying the leads, right? But then the next week you get another customer, so your HBA income is now $56 a month. And what I'm assuming here is that the people that you bring in, they're buying the leads as well, which has a referral scheme. That's good, isn't it? $26.25 for 5 leads a day. So the second week, you're still out of pocket, but you're only $1.50, buck 50 out. Third week, you're making $52 a month. Fourth week, $107 a month would be your recurring monthly income. Week five, and on it goes. What happens at the end of a year? $2,711. Not bad. Not bad. One a week. Are you necessarily going to do one a week? Can't guarantee it. I've done 5 in a week. Some weeks nothing, but it's an average. Okay. My best month, my best 30 days was 33 new customers in one month, right? Um, but then you're not going to stick, are you? You're going to add the premium in HVA, and our experience, about 70%, 75% of people will take the premium. Why? Because it pays $100 a month commission. So what would happen then if somebody took everything, if they got the Network Central as well, okay, and they were paying out for that, and they brought the leads, and everybody else did the same, because now you've got Network Central, you're positioned to get money from Network Central. So pretty much the same kind of deal. The first week, $156.95 out of pocket. But remember, you get 14-day trials in a couple of those. So it's not actually that bad. I have to do the math some way. Second week, you're only 30 bucks out. Third, you start making a nice profit. Then it starts getting really interesting. So if you could make a sale a week and everybody's doing the same stuff, by the end of the year, you're doing 6,371 a month. Not too shabby. And then I'm looking, oh no, sorry, which one was that one? Let me get this right. HBA full bundle only, 128 customer, right? So that is assuming that nobody else buys anything. Sorry, guys, that's assuming nobody else buys anything. But that's just HBA income. Oh my word, right? So this is the one where you're spending everything, right? Week one, out of pocket. Week two, you're in profit straight away, even though you're spending more. No, sorry, you're not spending more. I'm assuming other people are buying it. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. I only put these together last night. But this, at the end of a year, one customer a week buying the same thing, 8,905 a month. So I'm going to put these on a page and use it as an explainer. But you're potentially earning, I mean, who knows? We can't say, can we? But your top potential, right? Your top potential is $8,905 a month in a year, and the lowest was what? What was it? 2,711. One a week. One a week. It's doable, guys. It's doable. And that isn't like an income claim, by the way. That is just this is what happens if, right? And we all know life isn't like that. Um, there are people doing a lot more than that. There are people doing a lot less than that, right? Your results are your
And
results.
those numbers are where they're at because this company's paying 80% commissions, guys. Go out to any go to most affiliate products they're paying. I was just looking at one guy sent me asking me, hey, I'd love for you guys to do promotion on it. He's paying 35% commission. I thought it's good what you have, but I'm not there. I get paid 80%, and then our other program we get paid 100%. Like I guess we're spoiled now, Paul. We're very spoiled. We're very, very spoiled. We like we go promote both of our programs, and we get compensated very, very well for that. So and the other applies to building subscriptions versus building teams. The other is like it's great. If we're going to spend all the time, build a culture, build a team. Constantly be doing things 24/7 to grow this team, and I'm making $10 per at a level. And then all these people are in, and then they've got to get to work and actually create a result, and they don't. So you put all this time, effort, and energy into it, and then they're not even creating the doing the things they need to do for us to get those little $10 commissions. Like, guys, there's an easier way to do this, right? There's a much simpler way to go out here in affiliate marketing and make money, right? With when you ask network marketers how it's going, yeah, dude, it's great. Um, so it's just an easier way to do it. You know what I mean? Just daily leads, right?
Can I
You don't
just
have to
say
worry
we're
about
not
where your
knocking
lead.
network marketing
Go
because
ahead.
we've done it, and I wouldn't say I wouldn't do it again.
No,
But I mean,
no.
I've so many times I've seen, the problem with network marketing is that the commission is split between levels, right? Because they have to pay everybody in the pyramid, right? And the problem is it always dies from the bottom up because if the person at the bottom isn't making any money, they leave, and then the person above them, their income gets reduced, so they leave, and it dies, from the roots up. And then somebody says, "Do you know what? I'm going to go and promote this now." I see a guy, he's setting up a pre-launch, right? And a lot of people that in what I was in will go and follow him, right? So I know that he will take a lot of people from one business over to his new business. And I used to spend hours and hours trying to help people and build things and do stuff. Still do, to be honest. But when I had a team of like nearly 1,200 people, that takes a lot of your time, right? There's a lot of people want your time, and you try and help them, and then before you know it, they've gone, and it's like, hang on a minute, I've seen, oh Paul, I really need to speak to you. I really need your help. We're going to do this. We're going to do good things. I really need your help. And you put an hour into them, 2 hours. One guy, I probably spent like 20 hours with him over the course of time, and then it's just like, oh, I'm off to do this now. Bye, right? Though if you want it, you want it. So you might as well go somewhere where they pay you for doing it, and they pay you 80%, and that's why HBA pays 80%, by the way, because those guys got exactly the same problems. They got burnt doing network marketing so many times, again and again and again.
And by the way, those numbers that you guys saw, that's our base income. We also teach you how to go out and generate $1,000 and $2,000 instant income, instant paydays. So just imagine that over that course of the year, where it's like you're trying to get to that. Where was it, Paul? $6,000, $7,000. That's
Yeah.
just for the premium, not to include the other things people would buy. But just that, let's say $6,000, $7,000 base. That becomes your base monthly residual income. But throughout that entire year, people who are all in with us that are also leveraging our back end system. Let's just say over that course of the year, you got, only made seven sales, five of it at $1,000 level and the other two at $2,000. That's what is that? That's almost $9,000,
Well, we're
right? Just in
not an income claim, but we
Go
had a
ahead, Paul.
7K month last month with that.
Right, right. So I mean, zero income guys. Most people, you don't do anything. You don't make anything. But the fact is, that's what we have in place. So it's hard. It's hard when people come to us. It's hard for us to knock us off our ground because we know we're being compensated and a high commission. We know that we have programs that aren't going anywhere, right? They're both 10-year-old plus companies, right? Do Paul and I know that we could go? There are a lot of these hot deals we could get in and start marketing and make some quick money. We could do it. We could do it. It's the truth. This is truth. We could do that every 60 days and make money. There's not too much stuff. If it's a really hot offer and it's that really good one that hits the market, there's not too many we couldn't go out and make money with. The problem with it though is, okay, here's the problem is, you know, and that's great. And for a lot of and we've done, I mean, I've personally done some of that because I understand, like, it's like the hottest, why wouldn't you sell the hottest new thing,
Multiple
in the
streams.
market? Yeah, it's multiple income streams and all that sort of stuff. The problem becomes like you're kind of always starting over. And and that's great if you're a hustler, you built a list and all that, because you can just and that's what some affiliate marketers do, right? So they'll create a product, they'll go out and do a ton of pre-promotion, then they'll and they'll sell a ton of it, and then they've got to wait 3 4 more months to go create a new product to sell everybody. So all we're doing is we've just said, okay, well, wait a minute. We need a baseline. We want to build and build and build and build and build. And nothing wrong with these other things, but we want a straight line. to success. We want to simplify our life. We want all of our marketing because here's the thing. It's almost like you create this marketing. There are, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, the same marketing we're doing right now could produce us a sale 2 years from now. Somebody could watch this video. This is the truth on YouTube, right? 2 years from now, right? And guess what? And this happens, right? I can
Totally.
promise you. And this happens, right? Go to YouTube. It happens, right? I'll go to YouTube and I'll see a promotional video and I'll go to click the link and it doesn't go there anymore. They're not in the deal. You know what I mean? So 2 years from now, 5 years from now, we know that we have company that'll be there. So when they click the link 2 years from now and buy, we're still in the program, actively working the program, right? I can't tell you how many marketers have done these different flavors of the month. I'll go look at their old content and I'll go try to click on their pages and their page doesn't even exist anymore. They've already promoted that. They're on to the next thing. So we just don't want to do that. We want to build a stable, long-term, business. Not to say we might not bring things in the future, tools, these kind of things, but I don't know, Paul. At the end of the day, it's kind of like it wears you down. I'm telling you guys, it will wear you. The worst thing that can happen to somebody is get really good at marketing because when you get really good at marketing, you think, well, I can do this with all these
Anything.
different cool
Yeah.
things, and then you spread yourself thin. Paul and I've done this. We're telling you this because
Well,
we're
last
being
last
like
year,
honest with you guys. Yeah,
last year, because of all the AI stuff, last year we said if you watch our old videos from like December, January, sort of going back last year, it was like this is the year of AI and done for you because everything was
yeah,
promising. You press the buttons, it goes off, it makes the content, the leads will come, it follows up automatically. One thing was even like it will text back and forth, so it will close the sales for you, and all that. And we did a few things last year, multiple streams. It makes perfect sense, and on paper it worked. And I always remember one of our customers came and said, um, I just don't know what I'm meant to be promoting. And it's like, well, it's your business. It's up to you. It's up to you what you promote, and they all kind of stack together. But what do you mean? She goes, well, there's this, there's that. What, I don't know what to do. What should I do? And it's like, well, get promoting. So, but that really taught me a lesson. So this year, have you frozen? Oh no, you bet. So this year my internet keeps dropping a little bit. So this year, it's like two things. I can't see us doing anything else. I can't see us doing anything else. And the beautiful thing about what we're doing is they can both help you promote other deals, especially the $35 one. Especially the $35 one.
well, and fair play to you, Paul, because last year, multiple times last year, Paul came to me and he said, Eric, I think we should, I really think we should focus on HBA. And I was the one that was like, Paul, it doesn't have leverage, Paul. It's a single tier affiliate. It's a single. I was the one sort of caught up on, you know, that, that part. But then but then it finally clicked for me. What clicked for me was also when Exodus came back in the scene, because for me, I like having a high ticket. It's so much harder to make a $2,000 sale than it is to make a $35 sale. And that's just not the truth, right? If you get in front of enough people, the right target audience, trust me, Paul and I can tell you we've had easier sales where people just pay $2,000 to get involved in Exodus than a $7 sale where they'll ask you
Totally.
14 questions
Totally.
and spend 2 hours trying to pick your brain on something that's going to give you a $6 return. Okay. I promise you. So
True.
when
Absolutely
that came
true.
into place, it was a no-brainer. It was like, okay, Paul, this is it. Like we have this combination now. We can build this solid residual income and we also have that cash injection with the high ticket piece. So, fair play to Paul there because Paul kind of saw that and then once it kind of the light bulb went off, it was like, yeah,
I'll
okay,
tell you the other
yeah,
light bulb was when you're talking about moving to South America, and it was like the cost of living over there is so much cheaper, right? And it was like, dude, you do realize 16 customers would give you a great lifestyle over there. 16 happy customers, not
yeah.
a team of 500 or 1200. just 16 personal customers. We've both done more than that in, it, it's
And Paul, by the way, it's not what's interesting about that is 16 customers. Not only not only that, but these are recurring customers. So it
yeah,
means let's say I went out, let's say I went out in 6 weeks and I got 16 customers and they all stayed on the subscription for the rest of the year.
you never have to
I
work
could
again.
literally not work the rest of the year. Or if they stayed on permanently and I'm making enough coming in every single month without me doing anything to basically live a great lifestyle, being a nice, area, security, clean, fully furnished, cool place, going out to eat whenever I want it, gym, going and doing entertainment stuff, eating good, living living a very comfortable lifestyle. Okay. All from just 16 customers in a deal that's paying every single month. Like this is this is this is why you see all these young kids now. They're different. Young kids, they're digital nomads. They have these opportunities. You see these young kids over there, I do anyway, because I love looking at that. You see them out there living it up, all over the world because they're putting themselves in a position where now they can afford, right? But they're doing things online, some part-time. I mean, I was just watching a story of a just 24-year-old girl, her and a couple of her friends, they just do a couple of simple remote jobs and they all do just part-time and they just pull their money together and they've traveled all over Europe and Asia and they just kind of backpack and go and they got their laptops and they're not even they just pull their money together and they're just jet setting around the world. So point being is if if you can't leave and do all that stuff and you're sitting at the house and what is 16 customers going to do, full premium customers, what is that monthly, Paul, at 128?
What, how many,
That's
sorry?
16 at 128 commission. I
16
mean,
times
that's
128 is $2,048 a month
okay.
coming in, whether you work or not.
Would that help? Would that help you? Exactly.
It would help with
So
eight. And sorry, the reason I got distracted there, I've just had two people. The auto inviter's going out. I've got one. Go for it. Right, to send information, and the other one, someone saying that yeah, he needs some help. So absolutely. Do you
yep.
think like giving him free leads on a $35 front end with an auto inviter that will work for him even it's just like I think we've got the absolute sweet. I know everybody says they've got the sweetest deal, but ours is really based in reality because you can use it to promote anything else you want. It's got an auto inviter built in. You don't have to go and pay for it. We can give you some free leads to get you going. A lot on top of that, we'll give you social media stuff to help you. We have our own support group as well. We haven't even talked about that. And there it's recurring incomes. Two referrals, you're actually in profit. It's like two referrals, you're in profit. It's like, hello, come on, come on. So anyway, I'm racking my brains at the minute, and I've got to close this out because I've got to go in a minute. But what I'm trying to do now is come up with like even with all that, we shouldn't need to offer anything. What I'm trying to do now is come up with like an even sweeter bonus, just something else on top. You pay to like you get more. I mean, to be honest with you, the social media pack we created is worth $35. The auto inviter, how much would one of those cost? As an extra, well, I don't know, but you'd have to buy one.
The problem with the inviter is, oh, I've seen, I mean, you can go out and I mean, I know people that you can pay one time, like $100 or I've seen them as low as $79 or monthly for, but here's the problem with all these inviters that are out there is they're not they're dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't allow for they may teach you in training, do this, do that, but most people just go, well, this is how people think. Well, I'm gonna if I can send out 1,000 messages today, I'll do that because that's good, right? I've got more, and they end up getting their accounts jacked and all these things happen. This one's great because once you're in, right, it lists everything out. It's not going to promote to anybody that's already in the company, right? It's going to identify that. It also gives you an opportunity to go in and look through all of your people and deselect because you might have some people that are, that your mom, your aunt, your, Sally or whatever, you don't really care to send a message to because we're going to hear that. Well, Paul, I don't want this to just go out to everybody, So you can deselect all that. here's the cool part. You're 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 not in danger. It's only sending out 10 messages a day. You're not in
And
danger
there's
of
no
anything
setup. You
happening to
can't
your
change it.
account. Right. You
There's a
can't
very
change it.
big,
Can't
very
go in and
big.
tweak it. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say
You
there's a very
can't.
big
And
marketer who actually sells an auto inviter, and he got his
yeah,
account shut down, and he sells it. He's meant to be the one teaching you how to use it safely.
exactly. So, and the cool thing is you forget about it. You take five. I did. I set it because Paul had his set up getting responses. And then I'm like, I'm always a day or two later. So I finally get it set up, right? And then I did it, and then I did it late at night, and then I wasn't even thinking about it again because it's just working in the background. And then all of a sudden I see a thing pop up like, yeah, Eric, yeah, for sure, Eric, let me know. And I'm like, huh? The hell is he talking? What? I'm like, what is this? And then I look and I'm like, oh, oh, that's when the inviter's working. Oh man. And then, and then I think yesterday, Paul, I had like four people respond back. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't, we don't know what else to do. I mean, I don't know, Paul. Do you want to? I don't know. What else do you want to do?
Well,
Do
I'm
you want to
trying to
put their
think, but the
first child
problem
through
is,
school? You want to put their first child through college or
yeah, yeah, I could
university? I
do that, I
mean,
guess. Yeah, I guess that might help. I'll tell you what, I'll fly over anywhere around the world and actually sit with them while they press the button, to turn it on. But this is the problem. It's like me and Eric, one of the ways that we work, right, always add value, right? I used to work in a mobile phone shop, and this is years ago, but you used to get a leather case, a portable hands-free kit, which was basically wired headphones, right? That's how good it was, and a car charger. They were the three accessories that you could get for every mobile phone back in the, I guess, early 2000s or whatever, right? And there was this phone. We had a phone store just up the road from us, and this guy came in and he went, "I'm after a Nokia 6110," and we are like, "Yep, we got them. This is the deal. This is the tariff. Okay, but the shop up the road." It's the same deal, but they said they'd give me a case. And I'm like, no problem, I can give you a case, so I'll throw that in. They were £25 each or something stupid, right? So no problem, so I can give you a case. He goes, okay, let me think about it. Anyway, he came back literally 5 minutes later. They'll give me the car charger as well. I said, well, I'll give you the case and the car charger, right? And I'll tell you what, I'll even give you the hands-free kit then, right? And he goes, okay, let me think about it. He came back 5 minutes later. They'll match it. I said, yeah, so we're the same. He goes, what can you do above? I said, there's nothing else that exists for that phone that I can give you. The phone is the phone. I can't make your phone any different to all the millions that they produce, right? And the tariffs are set by the network. There's nothing more. He goes, oh, I need something more. What can you do? And it's like, and that's the problem when you try and like go over the top. Nokia, it was the most popular phone at the time. It was the best phone at the time, Nokia 6110, right? A leather case is a leather case. They're all made out of leather. They're all the same. And it was just like, and what we're doing now is we're trying to think, well, how can we make this even better? That people buy the deal on its own without the free leads, without the way that we spent hours researching to find the platform that you can use to send the SMS and get the $100 credit for more. And we're still here going, what else can we do? What else can we do? And it's like, if you can't see it, you're probably never going to see it.
but
$35.
a little industry secret here, Paul, is it's not a secret, but you know, it, it- especially in the affiliate marketing world, right? You buy into something, you see, everyone's offering this huge bonus offer, right? Which it could be Paul and I could sit and give you 35 videos on how to
Oh,
do a million different things, right? But the reality is that's there. So you perceive the $35 as well. Well, but I'm getting like $300 in value. So it's a no brainer. Well, the no brainer is forget all that other bullshit, all the bonuses. We're going to offer them to you, but forget all about that. You already have it we've already given it to you. That's all you have to do every single day. Get into the $35 system, launch your inviter, and start getting the leads coming into your inbox every single day. Just that. Those simple things will help you start growing a business. Now, can we show you some cool things, with these bonuses? Yeah. Okay. And are they valuable? Yes. But again, This is where I come back to, Paul. All of these things are great, but they're distractions as well. If you don't have a plan in place to start generating leads from day one and getting people interested in your program, just because you learn vidIQ today like an expert, you go through Paul's video and you've learned vidIQ, Paul, I know vidIQ from top to bottom. You just trained me how to use this tool better than the people at vidIQ. Okay. So, but I don't have a video up yet on YouTube. I know how to use this is a cool tool,
Yeah.
but I don't even have a video up yet. Now, is that going to help you? And you start doing YouTube and you start creating videos and all that. So 6 months in the future, like, oh, Paul, that was now I'm doing videos. I'm using vidIQ. I'm doing all this cool stuff. Now my videos are starting to get traffic and leads and all that. Okay. So if you want to do that, great. 6 months from now, you're going to be in a great position. But why not during that 6 months have leads coming in, have stuff working for you that you're actually growing and making actual money in sales while you're doing that? People are into this perpetual, I don't know what we call it, this constantly
Learning mode.
learning and it's easy. It's easier now because things change so much. There's a new tool out every day. For a marketer, it's easy to go, I can get you excited about this tool and that tool. Well, Eric said I needed this tool. Let me buy that. Let me learn that. Oh, well, wait a minute. Here's the new one. Paul told me this is the new one over here. I need this. And you just kind of float and float
Meanwhile,
and
there
float.
are people filling in those forms, information on working from home. People are filling that in and they want information. And I know some people kind of get a bit scared about maybe somebody might, ask for info and I have to message them and I'll be a bit scared. I get that. But look at it from their point of view. It's like imagine you walk into a shop to buy an air fryer and you want some help. You need some direction. And you walk into the shop and all the salespeople go, "Oh my God, a customer's coming. I hope she don't talk to me because then I might have to explain, anything." From the customer point of view, they want you to reach out. Now that doesn't mean to say you don't get the odd idiot because that's life. I used to work in a shop. Trust me, there are some out there, right? Just I don't get it, but there are some out there. But on the whole, most people are great. And remember, they've asked for the information. It's rude if you don't give them the information. And all you have to do is get them in front of that page that does the explaining. Our 20-minute video does it. And what's cool about working with Eric, from my point of view, is I get the American angle, right? And what's cool about Eric's position, he gets the UK angle, right? And between the two, we make kind of a good team that way. So everybody's sort of covered, if you know what I mean. So
Well, we'll close it, Paul.
yeah, I need to go.
We'll close it. We'll close it with this. Close it with this though, and we'll leave it at this. Joe's had a tough day at work. Okay, he's stressed out. He just is like, I need to make some extra money, right? Bills are piling up. He gets online and he sees a make money from home thing. He fills it out. Okay, you think Joe doesn't know anything about ChatGPT or Perplexity or Joe? If you told Joe, "Hey Joe, let me show you what vidIQ is," he'd look at you like you had six heads, right? Joe's just looking a way to make extra money, right? So he fills this form out, right? And then Sally's over here like, Paul, I just learned this cool new AI thing, and now I check out my cool videos and all this. So that's Sally. And then you got Jim over here who's like, Paul, um, I did the 5 leads a day thing, and I got a thing in on Joe. I did what you said. I just text Joe, and now he's responding, and he's gone to my page and he's actually looking at it, and he may join the business. Okay, so I, I'm trying to illustrate to you guys, right, that you have to have a lead. You have to have daily leads coming in. So you have to look at where you're at right now. This is the last question I'll have, and we'll close it. Do you have a lead? Do you have daily leads coming in every single day? Or do you have a mechanism in place introducing your business every single day to people? Right. We do that with the inviter, and we do that with this lead source we have. Okay. And then do you have a reliable system, right? That's turnkey, that's stable, that's been around, that's paying, 80%, all those sorts of things. If you don't have those things in place, then next month, the month after, and the month after, you're going to be in the same spot you are right now. And that's all we're trying to say is, learn the cool stuff. We'll teach you the cool stuff. Go out and do all the stuff, AI, social media, everything's important. But we're just saying, hey, add this lead strategy in place as well, right? With a turnkey system. That's it. Leave it at that, Paul.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. I'm going to go and get some lunch. It's nearly 2 o'clock, dude. How does this happen?
I know we
You
went
need
off
to bring
again.
your
We
math.
went way too long.
All right, guys. No, awesome. You know, if you're still here, $35. Come on.
Yeah.
Right. Daily leads.
Right.
Just imagine that if you didn't have to worry about AI ever again. Although you should, but if you knew you were going to get five interested people every day. Right. I'll catch
Yeah,
you
well,
later.
see, Paul's squirming right now. We're gonna shut it, but Paul's squirming right now because he has leads to follow up with right
I've
now,
got two
and he's
leads to
like,
follow
"I
up
need
with.
to respond to these people. I'm tired of doing this video, Eric." So I'll see you later, Paul.
And I am hungry. Catch you later.